Okay, so now we're moving on to talk about toric lenses, which is perhaps the most complicated. A toric lens is a lens that we use to treat astigmatism. So, first of all, we need to talk about what astigmatism is. And there is a misconception with astigmatism. People think it's unusual to have astigmatism, and it's quite the opposite. 95% of people have some degree of astigmatism, only 5% of people don't. So the fact that you may have astigmatism is not terribly relevant. It's the degree of the astigmatism that matters. So 0.25 is insignificant, 0.5 perhaps the same, 0.75 and we might start to consider it a little bit, but it's really 1 diopter and above where you might think you need a special lens to treat that astigmatism. We also need to ask ourselves, what is the impact of astigmatism? What does astigmatism cause? Well, it does cause a little bit of defocus, a little bit of soft focus, whether it be at distance or near to, depending on the degree of astigmatism. So a huge amount of astigmatism would be 8 diopters. 6 diopters is very high. 8 diopters, anything above that is a huge amount of astigmatism. A fairly normal amount of astigmatism is 1, 1.5. I've got 2 diopters of astigmatism. A negligible amount is 0.25, arguably 0.5. And I suppose the degree of astigmatism where we start to think about surgically correcting it with perhaps a toric lens would be 1 unit of astigmatism. Okay, so to confuse things even further, the astigmatism that you have in your spectacles isn't terribly important, or not to a surgeon. The surgeon wants to look at this, the shape of the eye, the surface of the eye, the cornea. So here we have my son's rugby ball. If your cornea has astigmatism, it has different curvatures on it. So the same way as a rugby ball, we have a flat curvature and we have a steep curvature, and that creates astigmatism. It creates defocus because we've got 2 different curvatures trying to focus the light. The other thing with astigmatism, relatively unimportant in making your decision, is the angle of that astigmatism. So in the same way you can rotate the rugby ball, these 2 different curvatures can spin round. So that's essentially astigmatism. It's the shape of the cornea, the very front surface of the eye. So when you come in for an assessment, if you come in for an assessment appointment, we'll measure the shape of the eye. We will ignore to some degree the astigmatism you have in glasses, but we'll look at the shape of the eye, and that will determine whether you need a toric lens. If you've got 1 unit of corneal astigmatism or more and you have a cataract, the NHS is not going to be able to free you from glasses for distance or for near. They're going to reduce your dependency on glasses, but that astigmatism, I'm afraid, will still create some defocus. Some people might accept it, but most people wouldn't. So this is a toric lens, again aiming to reduce your need for glasses. And a toric lens can be a single focus lens, or it can be a toric multifocal lens. So I hope that's helped to explain it simply. Thank you.